Chapter 1: The Dream. In the bustling town of Maplewood, 8-year-old Tommy lived with his parents and his older brother, Jake. Tommy was a lively and curious boy with sandy blonde hair and bright blue eyes. He loved playing outside and exploring the neighborhood, but there was one thing he dreamed of more than anything else: having his own bicycle. Tommy's family lived in a small house on Elm Street. They weren't wealthy, but they were happy. Tommy's father worked as a mechanic, and his mother was a nurse. Every day after school, Tommy would watch the neighborhood kids ride their bikes up and down the street, performing tricks and racing each other. He longed to join them, but all he had was an old tricycle he had outgrown years ago. One Saturday morning, Tommy and his father were walking through the town square when something caught Tommy's eye. In the window of the local bike shop, there was a shiny new red bicycle. It had a sleek frame, shiny chrome handlebars, and a bell that gleamed in the sunlight. Tommy's heart skipped a beat. "Dad, look at that bike!" Tommy exclaimed, pointing excitedly. "It's perfect." His father smiled, understanding his son's longing. "It's a beautiful bike, Tommy. Maybe one day we'll be able to get you one like that." Tommy knew his family couldn't afford the new bike right now, but he held on to the hope that one day he would have a bike of his own. Chapter 2: The Surprise. A few weeks later, Tommy's birthday was approaching. His parents and Jake had been planning a special surprise for him. They had saved up and found a used red bicycle in good condition. It wasn't the brand new bike from the shop window, but it was sturdy and had a lot of potential. On the morning of his birthday, Tommy woke up to find his family gathered around the kitchen table, which was covered with a colorful tablecloth and decorated with balloons and streamers. There was a small cake in the center of the table, and his mother was holding a wrapped present. "Happy birthday, Tommy," they all cheered. Tommy's eyes lit up with excitement as he opened the present. Inside, he found a brand new helmet and a pair of bike gloves. He was thrilled but also a bit puzzled. "Thanks, Mom and Dad. But I don't have a bike to use these with." His father smiled and said, "Well, we have one more surprise for you. Come outside." Tommy followed his family out to the backyard, where Jake was standing next to the red bicycle. Tommy's jaw dropped in amazement. "Happy birthday, little bro," Jake said, grinning. "It's not brand new, but Dad and I fixed it up just for you." Tommy couldn't believe his eyes. He ran to the bike and hugged it tightly. "Thank you so much. It's perfect." Chapter 3: The First Ride. With his new helmet on and his heart racing with excitement, Tommy climbed onto the red bicycle. It felt a little wobbly at first, but he was determined to learn how to ride it. His father held the back of the seat to steady him, and Jake ran alongside, offering words of encouragement. "Just keep pedaling, Tommy. You've got this," Jake called out. Tommy gripped the handlebars tightly and focused on keeping his balance. He wobbled a bit but managed to stay upright. As he pedaled faster, he felt a rush of exhilaration. He was riding a bike. "Dad, let go. I can do it," Tommy shouted. His father released the seat, and Tommy rode on his own for the first time. He felt like he was flying, the wind rushing through his hair and the world zooming past him. It was a moment of pure joy and freedom. Tommy rode up and down the street, his confidence growing with each pass. He practiced turning, braking, and even tried a few small tricks. By the end of the day, he was exhausted but happier than he had ever been. "That was amazing," Tommy said, beaming. "Thank you, everyone. This is the best birthday ever." Chapter 4: The Challenge. Tommy quickly became known as the fastest and most daring rider on Elm Street. He loved the feeling of the wind in his face and the thrill of racing his friends. However, there was one thing that still eluded him: the big hill at the end of the street. All the older kids could ride down the hill without fear, but Tommy was still nervous about it. One sunny afternoon, Tommy's friends gathered at the top of the hill, daring each other to ride down. Jake was there too, cheering them on. "Come on, Tommy. You can do it," Jake encouraged. Tommy looked down the steep hill, his heart pounding. He wanted to prove to himself and his friends that he could conquer it, but the thought of losing control and crashing scared him. "Don't worry, Tommy. Just keep your hands steady and use the brakes if you need to," Jake advised. Taking a deep breath, Tommy decided to give it a try. He positioned himself at the top of the hill, his hands gripping the handlebars tightly. With a final nod to Jake, he pushed off and started down the hill. At first, the ride was exhilarating. The speed was thrilling, and Tommy felt a rush of adrenaline. But as he picked up more speed, he began to feel wobbly. The bike started to veer off course, and panic set in. He squeezed the brakes too hard, causing the bike to skid and topple over. Tommy hit the ground with a thud, scraping his knees and elbows. His friends rushed to his side, and Jake helped him up. "Are you okay, Tommy?" Jake asked, concerned. Tommy nodded, tears of frustration welling up in his eyes. "I thought I could do it, but I messed up." "It's okay, Tommy. Everyone falls sometimes. The important thing is that you tried. You'll get it next time," Jake said, giving him an encouraging pat on the back. Tommy felt a mix of disappointment and determination. He knew he had to face the hill again, but for now, he needed to rest and recover. Chapter 5: The Comeback. Over the next few weeks, Tommy practiced riding his bike every day. He focused on improving his balance and control, determined to conquer the big hill. His friends and Jake continued to support and encourage him. One afternoon, Tommy's father noticed his son's dedication and decided to offer some advice. "Tommy, I see how hard you're working. Remember, riding a bike is about finding the right balance between speed and control. Trust yourself and take it one step at a time." Tommy nodded, absorbing his father's words. He knew that he needed to trust himself and stay calm. With renewed determination, he continued practicing. Finally, the day came when Tommy felt ready to face the hill again. He gathered his friends and Jake at the top of the hill, his heart pounding with anticipation. "This time, I'm going to make it," Tommy said, his voice filled with resolve. Jake gave him a thumbs up. "You got this, Tommy. Just remember to stay steady and trust yourself." Taking a deep breath, Tommy positioned himself at the top of the hill. He pushed off and started down, focusing on maintaining his balance and staying calm. As he picked up speed, he felt the familiar rush of adrenaline, but this time, he didn't let fear take over. Tommy kept his hands steady on the handlebars, using the brakes gently when needed. He felt in control and confident. As he reached the bottom of the hill, he realized he had done it. He had conquered the big hill. His friends and Jake cheered as he rode back up, a triumphant smile on his face. "I did it. I really did it." Jake gave him a high five. "I knew you could do it, Tommy. Great job." Tommy felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. He had faced his fear and come out victorious. Chapter 6: The Neighborhood Hero. Tommy's success on the big hill made him a hero among the neighborhood kids. They admired his determination and courage, and many of them asked him for tips on riding their bikes. Tommy was happy to share what he had learned, and he enjoyed helping his friends become better riders. One day, as Tommy and Jake were riding through the neighborhood, they noticed a new kid watching them from his front yard. The boy looked about Tommy's age and seemed shy and hesitant. "Hi, I'm Tommy, and this is my brother Jake," Tommy said, riding up to the boy. "Do you want to join us?" The boy smiled nervously. "I'm Sam. I just moved here. I don't have a bike yet, but I love watching you guys ride." Tommy had an idea. "Hey, we have an extra bike at home. It's not new, but it's in good condition. You can use it until you get your own." Sam's eyes lit up with gratitude. "Really? That would be amazing. Thank you so much." Tommy and Jake brought the extra bike to Sam, and over the next few days, they taught him how to ride. Sam was a quick learner, and soon he was riding confidently alongside his new friends. Tommy felt a sense of fulfillment in helping Sam. He remembered how much it meant to him when his family and friends supported him, and he wanted to pay it forward. Chapter 7: The Community Project. Inspired by the sense of camaraderie and the joy of biking, Tommy and Jake came up with an idea for a community project. They decided to organize a bike-a-thon to raise funds for new bikes and safety gear for kids in the neighborhood who couldn't afford them. They presented their idea to their parents and the local community center, and everyone was enthusiastic about the project. With the help of their friends and neighbors, they started planning the event. Tommy and Jake designed posters and flyers, spreading the word about the bike-a-thon. They set up a registration booth at the community center and collected donations from local businesses. The response was overwhelming, and soon they had enough funds to make a real difference. On the day of the bike-a-thon, the streets of Maplewood were filled with kids and families riding their bikes, enjoying the beautiful weather and the sense of community. There were various routes for different skill levels, and everyone had a great time. Tommy and Jake led the main route, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. The event was a huge success, and they raised enough money to buy several new bikes and helmets for the neighborhood kids. At the end of the day, the community center held a ceremony to thank Tommy and Jake for their hard work and dedication. The mayor presented them with a special award for their contribution to the community. "We're so proud of you, Tommy and Jake," the mayor said. "You've shown us the power of determination, kindness, and community spirit." Thank you for making Maplewood a better place. Chapter 8: The Legacy. As the years went by, Tommy and Jake continued to be active members of their community, organizing events and helping others. The bike-a-thon became an annual tradition, bringing the community together and providing bikes and safety gear to those in need. Tommy's red bicycle, now well-worn and full of memories, remained a cherished possession. It was a symbol of his journey from a young boy dreaming of his own bike to a confident rider and community leader. One sunny afternoon, Tommy found himself standing in the town square, looking at the new bikes in the shop window. He smiled, remembering the day he had first seen the red bicycle that changed his life. Just then, a young boy approached him, his eyes wide with admiration. "Hi, are you Tommy? The one who organizes the bike-a-thon?" Tommy nodded, his heart warmed by the boy's excitement. "Yes, I am. Do you like biking?" The boy nodded eagerly. "I love it. But I don't have a bike yet. I hope to get one someday." Tommy knelt down to the boy's level and smiled. "You know, I once felt the same way. And now, I get to help others experience the joy of biking. How about you join us at the next bike-a-thon? We'll make sure you have a bike to ride." The boy's face lit up with joy. "Really? That would be amazing. Thank you so much." As Tommy watched the boy run off to tell his friends, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He knew that the legacy of the little red bicycle would continue to inspire and bring happiness to others for years to come. And so, the story of Tommy and his red bicycle became a cherished part of Maplewood's history, a testament to the power of dreams, determination, and the simple joy of riding a bike.